think we thoroughly covered upcoming artists. I'd like to actually shift the perspective towards new and upcoming entrepreneurs in the music industry or any industry, really. Do you guys have any tips for? So, for example, artists have open mics and live events for them to actually grow themselves. What about entrepreneurs? Do you guys have any tips for them?
Be prepared to make a lot of mistakes and lose money before anything else happens.
Yes, I think as an entrepreneur, yes, you are talking about entrepreneurs who want to work with artists, right? Not as artists.
Yeah, in the music industry, whatever idea they could be covering.
So I think when we're talking about the entrepreneur that he want to really focus on to work in the music industry, there is something missing, which is the artist really serious about his careers or just do it when I have time? Because I usually hear so much the word, I'm busy, I don't have time, you know? So I think music beyond as an entrepreneur require the artist that really dedicated for that thing, because it's more as a process to help the artist to take it to the next stage. Let's say, for example, artists need to kind of starting touring, because as you said, now we are talking about artists have already audience, has performed, so he kind of like need to move to the next stage, right? So there is a lot of process need to be done, prepare trainings, like rehearsing with the band before going to tour, you know? And that thing required so much dedication and focus. So it's not just shortcut. So I think beyond we are talking as an entrepreneur who want to really pushing artists, I think we need more of artists that are prepared for that stage. Because there is no time that you are starting putting effort and investing, and then at the end of the day, oh, I'm leaving the country. That's a bad news. So we want to really like to have more onto like serious artists.
Yeah, yeah, just piggybacking off that, absolutely. It's the whole concept of being busy. So if anyone tells me I'm busy in any aspect of life, I'm like, oh, okay, so it's not your priority. So it's about shifting your priorities. You need to make it your priority. So if it's not your priority, you're either not ready. So wait until you're ready. Don't rush into something that you're not ready for. And then also, yeah, be willing to know that it is up and down, but don't be scared. One of the sayings that I've always lived by is feel the fear and do it anyway. I mean, like, what are you really scared of? What's the worst case, you know? You've got your health, you've got people around you that will support you, you have your talent, you know what you're capable of. So just believe in yourself a little bit more and just know that you can catch yourself. And then, yeah, make it a priority and keep it a priority.
James, any insights?
I would say the first thing you need to do is sit back and see what your strengths are and your personal passions, because it could be something you see missing within the industry, but if it's not a strength or your passion, I don't believe you can be successful. That kind of piggybacks off of people saying they have to prioritize what they want to do and what they don't want to do. If it's not your passion, if it's not your strength, I don't believe you can be successful in it anyway. So find out what your strengths and what your passions are and where that could fit within the music industry and go 110%. That's what I would say.
Thank you, guys.
And one last advice, don't throw AP, don't throw album. Work in a song. We see a lot of artists just starting and then throwing a full AP, throw like a full album, and just like having 100 people like listen to his music. It's like kind of a huge misunderstanding of music, because if imagine that the entire EP or album you're making 1 or 2 songs, and that 2 songs getting the right time to be reached to, let's call it like 20,000-50,000 people, is more than enough. Just throwing an entire album where people doesn't know that you are making music.
It takes a lot of effort.
Of course.
When you can focus actually on just one song and make it more successful.
Because you cannot start with the album. It's just like, we never hear that you have music before. Like sometimes you see a friend of you just dropping an AP. You said, did you do music? I never hear about this. It's kind of like misunderstanding music, right? So it should be more serious, because if you want to really be an artist, we need also to taking care of the existing artists that are putting a lot of hard work, and we don't categorize everyone as an artist. So it's really high position.
So I'm sitting here with industry experts, and I'm going to ask the question that I'm pretty sure is on everyone's mind right now. What is your golden tip in terms of marketing and branding? Starting off with you, James.
My number one tip would be don't be afraid to fail. You have to use those as learning experiences and grow from them, because I'm pretty sure all of us are successful in our own right up here, but if you've had any success, you've probably failed 10 times before you've had success 1 time. So just remember that and just keep moving forward.
Robin?
My main marketing tip, oh, this is a bit tricky. There's a lot out there, but I would definitely reiterate what I said earlier, is go through self-discovery. Really understand what is unique to you and what it is that you can give out to the rest of the world or your audience or whatever it is. And believe in yourself, face that fear and just do it. Take that plunge because you honestly, you have nothing to lose.
Sabir?
I think the advice I give to any artist that really want to make a career in music, being constant. Because if you want to do anything, you have to be serious about it, So every day you need to think about what I'm going to be putting my audience. Because if you disrespect your fan, it's done for you. There is no music. And it's not like, hey, I have my music video today, I'm going to see you after 6 months. So I think the first thing is constant, making music. Second tip, working with people in the industry. No one can do it alone. You have to work with other artists, you have to work with other music producer, you have to reach out to anyone in the industry, and that things can be really more rich in music, because music nowadays is so rich that you can just reach out to someone in the end of the world by email and get that track, music, that is really something can be a boom music. So it's not only just having that kind of limited view on your own geographic location. Music nowadays is so international. Reach out, be constant, prepare your content, not just only music. You need to also, because an artist is like storytelling, right? So if you want to use social media and you want to really grow your audience, you need to be a storytelling beyond just only making music. This is social media tip. So I think be constant.
Mazi?
In a nutshell, I would just say listen, learn, adjust, evolve. And less is more, so that's why I'm going to start with that. Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, just one more thing. Don't be afraid to ask for help. I think there's a little bit of arrogance in the industry.
The worst they could say is no, right?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, ask for it. Put down whatever it is, your fear again, or you're worried about, the rejection. So ask for help. I mean, there's nothing wrong with asking for help.
Yo, shout out to the 4 different accents on this panel. You know what I'm saying?
We've got it all around the globe right here. So,
Also, one more point, I forget it. Ask for the opinion of the fans. It's not only the artist, he know everything in music. Very, very important. When you make music, listen to the feedback. Because that's the way how you cultivate your music and make it better and better every time. Because if you're just only dropping music one way, but you don't listen to your audience, that's like a big mistake. And everyone learning from mistake. Have a mentor, ask questions. Anyone, you can reach to anyone, how you do it, or ask tips, not just, I need an investment, I need money. There is a lot of things can help you. Read the books. So there is a lot of things can be done.
So I think this is another way of rephrasing the same past question, but as you mentioned, Robin, there are a lot of points and golden tips out there in the world. But what do you think is a final key takeaway for all our viewers out there?
I definitely think that consistency is a massive takeaway. You just have to keep going. The minute you stop, your competition will come out and outshine you, or whatever you perceive as your competition. So be consistent, be true to yourself, and continue to tell the story. It is definitely all about storytelling. There's a narrative that you want to portray to the world, whether you do that through expression, music, movement, whatever it is. So be consistent in the narrative that you want the rest of the world to know.
James?
My key word will be, and it kind of piggybacks off of consistency, is be persistent. Where one person might say no, you might have to find another avenue to get to where you're trying to go. So I would say stay persistent, stay hungry, and don't give up on your dream.
Sabir? Mazi?
I mean, everybody said the word consistent, so I'm going to stay consistent with that word consistent. You know what I mean? But also, you could be consistent, you could be consistent with and make the same mistakes. So it's understand and be a student and, consistently evolve and change up the game plan if you have to. But consistency is such key, and patience is a fiber within that. You see what I'm saying? So, I agree with you guys.
I think everyone really highlight consistent lists, talking about something else helping with consistent, which is evaluating music. I think the best advice I give for artists, variety in music, don't think just like when you are doing open act or just like add you on the list, you know, that's like a music thing. Because I see there is a big problem of understanding this, that a lot of artists waiting for the event occasion. Oh, there is 2-3 events per year, I'm gonna be part of that event, or there is like open store. So there is a lot of things. I really think the best advice I give for artists, hunt for the stage. There is nothing beyond that stage. Everything else competing for that seat. Social media, everyone competing for this. But stage, that's where you have to compete, because the day you go on stage, you will never be offline again. Always be on stage, hand for the mic. Small audiences will be helped. Don't go for just, I need big audience, I need big stage. Start from small stage, and slowly, slowly, people will come to listen to you live. Even in this space, you can do a concert for just 50 people. I think that's the right thing for artists.
One last thing. I don't want to show my age, but Melly Mel said this years ago. He said, this is my job. You understand what I'm saying? I'm an MC. This is my job. So artists, yes, you have to get up 8 in the morning, go to that radio interview while you were in the studio till 6 in the morning, and then did a bunch of other stuff in between that. Like, I don't care if you deliver pizza and then you go and sing a rap. That's also your job. Singing, you have to look at it as a job. And when you're at a job, you do everything you need to do to accelerate. So it goes back to you saying, looking at it as a hobby. No, I don't care what you do on your 9 to 5. When you're doing that, your art, look at it as your job. And if you have that perception, it might prompt you to work harder and be more motivated.
Since we are an Emirate Music Summit, let's start challenge, because I want just to tell a story. It happened like in another major music summit, which is like one of the panelists just give his email to the audience and said, if anyone want to help, please reach out to me, And at the end of the day, he received 0 email. This is true. So we want to do today, here the panelists are expert in different vertical. If you want to really help, reach out to us. We're going to share our email. You'll find it in the information in the video, and ask for help. Ask for tip. It can be just something that you want to understand what you are doing in music. We are here to help. So it's not something that you're going to figure out by yourself and guessing. You need to reach out. You need to ask for help.
So a key takeaway from a person who's not from the music industry is consistency, and shifting your priorities towards what matters. If your goal is to be in the music industry and that's what's really important to you, then shift your priority towards that and work your hardest. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you very much for having me here, James, Robin, Saber, Mazi. It's a great pleasure to have you guys here. Thank you guys. That's the end of our panel, and have a nice day and tune in.